Listen well, all of you. Don't go to Olive Garden on a Saturday.
Go off, Delta!
I made the fatal mistake of going to Olive Garden on a Saturday this week, and I knew better. I knew better. Going out on the weekend to a restaurant or a shopping experience should only be reserved for people who work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. A restaurant is a place where they get to cut up. Those cocktails that they show that are like on the little sign that says like new breezers, those are not for professionals. Those are for the people who come in for happy hour or come in on a Saturday or Sunday. Those are the people that don't get to do anything during the week, and on the weekend, they it up. People like myself who do not work a 9 to 5 have a privilege, and built into that privilege is going out to eat at a restaurant during the week at an unusual time when it's not busy, when it's quiet, when you can reap the benefit of having the privilege to not have to go on a Saturday. But I did it to myself. I decided to take my mom out shopping. First, we went to go get pedicures, and she had to get the flour on the toes and the gel, and we made the appointments, and we always have a wonderful time, and we sit right next to each other, and I love it, and it's our special time, and it's the best thing ever. But we got them done early. So then we decided, let's go thrift store shopping. And listen, if you get gel, or maybe dip is the same way, I don't know. But if you get your shit done in that gel manner, you don't have to wait for anything to dry. It's dry. It's ready to go. I can put my hoof right in there. I have my clear toenail polish. She has her red or whatever. My mom said, I asked her if she was going to get white toenail polish. And you know what she said? White toenail polish is for the young girls with pretty feet. I thought that was so cute. She likes to get bright colors. But anyway, this is the story. We go to the thrift store. We go to another thrift store. Somewhere in there, we get a coffee. The day is just going all over the place. At some point, it's like 2:30. And I'm like, are you hungry? She's like, yeah, I could eat. That's my mom's way of saying like, I'll go wherever you want to go because she knows how picky I am. So she'll go, oh, I could eat. So I'm like, all right, where do you want to go? Of these 3 places. So I mentioned like 3 places to narrow it down. And she was like, Olive Garden sounds fine with me. We hadn't been there forever. So we go. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Now, in my mind, I know the streets are busy. The place is buzzing. People who work for the county are out, baby. They've got on their Dodger blues. They are ready to go. They want to take the whole family and get in line at Marshall's. Everyone's going to be out eating, but it's 2:30. I'm like, it's not that bad. No one's really here at 2:30. They're here for lunch or they're here for dinner. So we get there, and it honestly was not that busy. And we tell them it's 2 for a table. And you know what 2 for a table means? A table, not a booth. So they gave us a table. We sit down. Everything's fine. Which, by the way, now there's those little things at the restaurants where it's like, order your drinks here. We'll expedite them. Order your appetizer. Did you want to order your food? Well, man, can I clock in? What part are you going to do? I can go get the food. I can get the food. And if I get up at Olive Garden, trust me, I'll be putting a little more extra salad dressing in those salads. I don't know what the training is on the salads, but I feel like just a little bit more dressing. You know, they'll bring it to you, but I don't want any extra. I want it already in there. I want it built in. Anyway, they seat us, and I'm like, is there something going on? Is there like a class reunion? Or it just seemed so loud. Even though there wasn't that many people there in all the different tables, there was enough people around us that it just seemed like there was something happening, almost like a mixer, but it wasn't. Apparently, the Monday through Friday people, the 9 to 5 people, the people in the Dodger blues and the matching and the Betty Boop and all that, apparently they don't have inside voices. They don't understand what that means. They also don't know that your ass goes in the seat. So they were all just standing and then holding babies and talking. She was like, and I told her she's such a bitch. And she said, no, girl. And they're going back and forth like that. And he's like, yeah. So when I was over there, I was talking to him and I told him like this. And I'm like, why are you on my shoulders? I don't understand why you're here. Your seats are here. You have a seat here, and I have a seat here. They were standing there, and then they were leaning down and eating pasta and then standing back. And nobody was saying anything. Of course, you're not going to say anything because the second you correct someone into saying like, hey, the social moray is that in a restaurant, you stay seated. You can have a conversation. You can even have a lively conversation, but you try to have it at a level that sort of meets the room, right? Not the 9 to 5s, baby. Not. They think it's like Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese. They just want to scream and jump up and down and laugh, and they want to go run around, and they want to have half of their party there, and then the other half is coming later, and then we need high chairs. No, we don't need high chairs. And it's not even just groups of people. I'm talking, it's everybody. It's everybody. And I don't know if the restaurants are just so desperate for business at this point that they figure, unless somebody says something, we are not going to, like, because I would think if it was my restaurant and I saw this happening, that I think I would fucking lie. I would go up and say to whoever seemed to be sort of like the in-charge person, I think I would go up and say, hey, hope you all are having a good time. Is there any refills we can get you? Is there any thing you'd like to add to your order right now? Just wanted to let you know there are some other people in the area that are also here celebrating the fact that it's Saturday like you are. And if we could just keep it, just if maybe people could sit down, maybe just for everyone's safety, if you could, not jostle your baby and shove spaghetti in their mouth over the other guests. Like if you could do that part, I know that seems really, really rude of a request because I know that you own all the people in here. I know that this is your day off and you came here, and I know it's your cousin Junior's birthday. But everyone here doesn't know your cousin Junior. And so what's happening is that these are all also individual people that have to pay their check at the end of the meal service. And unless you're paying for everyone's meal and you've rented out this space, in fact, is shared. And so we have to think about others in this type of environment. And then when you leave here, you have to think about others in other environments as well, at Marshall's or Falas Paredes or wherever it is that you shop. Remember those things. Remember that we're in a shared space. Of course, it's 2026. If you're listening to this is being recorded in 2026, where the entire country doesn't give a shit about anything because the country doesn't really give a shit about us. So this is the moment where we stand up and we give a shit about one another. So when you just default by saying, well, the country's fucked up, that's you. That country, that's you. That's your fault. It's not my fault. It's not the fault of everybody else. That's you, because you're getting used to it and you like it. And you don't think it's worth fighting for. I think it is. And I think you need to be told. And I take this opportunity to sit my fat ass down right here and tell you every week when it's time for you to tighten your shit up. So if I see you at Olive Garden, you watch your mouth when you're talking to me. And just as I said before, not to say you can't have a lively conversation and go, oh, you so-and-so, there he is. I'll take another beer. You can do all that stuff you want. But standing up and hanging all over everyone else, screaming across the room, pull it back, just pull it back, pull it back. Look at, fill up your lungs. And you can just talk like normal. You can talk like normal and you can ha 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 ho 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 he he hoo 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 hoo. You can do all of that. You can do all of that and have a great time. But why encroach on everyone else? Why think like, well, I'm here, I'm paying, so I have to be as loud as I have to be because that's how loud I am at home. And if you don't like it, oh well, I'm not going to be fake. This is who I am. I don't think it's being fake to sometimes have different manners. Manners is like in some ways code switching. And again, I know people are going to come in and say, well, in other parts of the world and in other, I don't think that there's places anywhere in the world where everyone thinks it's socially acceptable for you to go into a space and say, I own all of this space, even though I paid exactly the same amount as you. Don't tell me that in other parts of the world, people can just show up, let their kids do whatever. They can scream, complain, bitch, moan, spill things, make a scene, and everyone goes, oh, that's fine. That's good behavior. Nobody ever said that. Don't come in here with that bullshit, that virtue signaling that, well, what about that? You know what? I'm talking about what about Saturday at 2:30 in Whittier, California, where everyone has the same experience. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, we can hem and haw about, well, what if this person had this? And what if this person came in a time machine? And what if monkeys flew out of my ass too? We're not talking about that. We're talking about basic behavior at a strip mall restaurant. There are, in fact, mores. There are behaviors. And there is a time when you can look at people and go, that person is an absolute obtuse asshole. But you're an asshole if you say something. So what do? I just left. I just said, honestly, and I don't even want any more. Guess what I'll do? I'll go home and get one of those salads from Trader Joe's that I got the other day at my privilege time during the week, a Thursday at, 7 o'clock at night. And I'll eat that. I'll shut up. And the next time I want to go to Olive Garden, I'll make sure that it's a Tuesday at 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'll have a smile on my face. And I'll remember that I'm just going to have to segregate myself in that manner, I guess. I don't know what else to say. But Saturdays are not for anyone other than a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday group of people. And this is not to say that those are bad people. It's to say that the majority of people in that realm only have a certain set time to release everything. So they think whether it's at a football game or a little league or a grocery store or a restaurant or Marshall's, they're going to do everything as loud and crazy as possible. So what did I do? Nothing. I figured out what is the problem in this situation. None of them had a problem with how loud they were talking or the kids that were running around or the drinks that were getting knocked over or who they were encroaching on. That none of that bothered them. It bothered me. And so I said, you know what I'm going to do? Before we put any orders in, just leave. Just leave. Just don't enjoy this experience. Realize that you already have the privilege of getting to come out at 2:30 or 3:30 or 9:30 at night on a Tuesday or a Thursday when these people don't have that privilege. These people are all tied up in bed, going like this, waiting to wake up in the morning to go work for the county. You don't have to do that. You sit in a little office and make content where you talk about these very problems. So what I'm saying is, like, are there other people that are bothered by this? Is nobody bothered by this? Maybe I'm just living in like my own bubble, which is absolutely fine and totally acceptable for me to acknowledge that. I don't think all people enjoy being around screaming behavior in a restaurant. I don't think they do. But if you're watching this and it doesn't bother you, you know what? All I can tell you is you need to go look for you another podcast or something, because we're going to be talking about this for a while. That's what we do over here. Over here, we fry the small fish. Over here, we talk about the bullshit. Over here, we talk about people that are speaking out of school. Over here, we want exactly what we paid for. And over here, we want you to shut the fuck up in a restaurant. And if you're going to talk, don't be cussing in a restaurant. And if you make a scene, if your kid drops food all over the ground, try to pick some of that up. I know you don't bring a vacuum cleaner with you, but if your kid makes a gigantic scene all over the ground, that's on you, not on the kid. That's on you. Pick it up. Stop making a scene and a mess and being obtuse and a pig. Just because you work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, does not mean that you own Saturday. We own the night and the day and the mid-afternoon. We own it. You don't own me. I'm not one of your mini toys. Do you want to see me take a break? Because I think you want to see me take a break.